All right. Well, the markets are all closed for the week, and it is time for me to lay out some strategies to make some improvements to the way that I trade. There were a lot of things that happened this week that taught me. I didn't really get that in the first 5 weeks, but this week was a huge learning session for me. When you lose, that's usually what happens. So I had a losing week overall. Today was actually a good day. Stocks were good, futures were good, but Forex was way down. So, what did I learn from this? Well, first of all, I usually use this chart here to give you my technical analysis, and it's actually been very accurate. The problem is there's large gaps because I'm using daily candles here and I'm trading the overall trend, not the individual swings. I'm missing out on a lot of moves like this one, and I'm actually getting hit on those moves. So what I decided to do was lower my technical analysis down to, I mean, still use that as kind of the macro view, but for trading, use the 4 hour, and that way you can see here when it hits the purple here, that's going to be that indicates the start of a trend for me. So I'll get that much quicker in terms of having the right direction for the time frames that I trade, right? Because I'm a short-term trader. The way I've been looking at macro is more for a swing trader, one who doesn't trade as often, but I trade more than that, and so I think I'm going to have to go down to the 4 hour time frame. That's the first change I'm going to make. One thing that has worked very well for me has been filling up my reserve accounts with value and good sort of fundamental trades. Silver was one of those things. And we've been buying under 30, just loading up. Whenever I'd make a profit, I'd put it in. And that's paying off big time as this thing is beginning to take off. So I won't be making any changes there. The second change I'm going to make in my Forex accounts is I'm going to tighten all of my losses. I'm going to cut it down to about 3% max. And with that, I believe I should have some much better Forex trading in the coming weeks. We will see. I've been playing around with this, making them wider or less wide. But I think by far out of the experiments that I've done, when I shorten those losses, I tend to make money over time because not only do you get out of a trade quicker and get into another opportunity quicker, um, you're just not taking the big hits that I took this week. And so that'll be my second change. I'm still doing good in the accounts after 6 weeks. We're up about $200 a day, which is not bad. That's 50,000 a year, but it's not near my goal. I want to be at $350 a day for this next 5 weeks, which is closer to $91,000 a year. I'm not there yet, but I believe with these changes that I'm going to make, we'll get there. All right, so let's take a look at those technicals. Here's the NASDAQ. Here's the trend line I drew several days ago. And we're actually still on that trend line. And that's what I'm talking about, right? This whole thing, there was a lot of room there. And so I should have switched down to the 4 hour and traded this up or stayed out of it if I want to. This was the day I got hit the hardest. This 4% move from bottom to top. Oh, that really killed me. But here we are. We're just under the trend line. Looks like we sort of bounced off of where that is. I don't know if that'll hold. I do have some shorts that I entered toward the end of the day on the Nasdaq. So I'm going into the weekend with this short position. Maybe some news will come out or something, or maybe it'll turn. You just don't know. But I think this is probably a good spot to resume those shorts again. In any case, by shortening that time frame, I will be able to pick up these swings here. Taking a look at some individual stocks this week, Apple was actually down a little bit. So was Nvidia, which is odd. Two out of the Magnificent Seven were down. So it makes me kind of wonder what was up to push the NASDAQ up. Let's see. How about Tesla? Oh, just about flat. So really, it wasn't the NASDAQ today that moved the most. It was actually the Russell 2K. Look at that big move. 2.5%. I'm really glad I wasn't shorting that. That's now back over the 20-day moving average, looking pretty strong here. And again, though, the same trend line exists. It's coming down like this, And this looks to me like some sort of a pennant pattern. And whether it breaks up or down, it's too early to tell. My bias is still toward the downside until, and I know I get a lot of questions about this, like, you're a perma bear. I'm really not. I have my trend lines and I stick to them. This is my trend line, and this is where we are. So right now, the bias is still short. I will be trading though those 4 hours. So if you look at this on a 4 hour, it gives it kind of a different feel, doesn't it? Right? This is now kind of an up move. Here's my purple line that trends tend to stick to those. And so this would have been an up trade for me. But live and learn. So now I'm shortening my time frames a little bit because I do trade more than a normal swing trader. So I think that's the appropriate. All right. So before we leave for the weekend and take a well-deserved rest, let's take a look at gold, because gold popped up to another record high today. This is paper gold here. And wow, look at these nice gaps. There's something going on when gold and silver are popping and the market is going up at the same time. I do think we're in for a lot of volatility. Remember, September tends to be the worst month of the year, but it hasn't been this September for sure. But I do think there's a lot of volatility left. We're only at the 13th. I'm going to follow those technicals. I'm not a perma bear, but right now the technicals are saying we are near the trend line and ready to go back down. Let's take one more look at that just so you can see what I'm talking about. Yeah, see, there's my trend line. Here's the 200 that we bounced off of. And again, you have a lot of volatility off that 200. This is not surprising, just bad move by me. I should have known. I expected volatility here. I just didn't handle this day very well, this middle day. But here we are up at the trend line. If we continue to go up, then we're gonna have, there's nothing left really but this previous high, and then we might get all-time highs. So that would definitely turn me bullish. But right now, I'm still bearish. I'm going into the weekend like that. I know a lot of people keep telling me I'm too bearish. I'm a perma bear, whatever. I'm really not. I'm just looking at the trend line, and that's what I'm seeing. Anyway, thanks everybody. I'll put on another video, maybe a research video over the weekend, macro environment type thing. Thanks.